Hello and welcome to another Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes video from the Shattered Order podcast. I'm Wink. This week, I've got a Phase 2 team in the Heroic Sith Raid that can do almost 5 million damage and can probably do even more. So it took me a little while to figure out exactly how to consistently get over that 8% mark, which I have pretty much figured out, and I'm going to show you my process of doing that, speeds on my characters, and just kind of the general strategy that I use. But first, I want to tell you about our sponsor, Blue Designs. If you want to start making your own videos or your own podcasts or anything of the sort, go to bluedesigns.com and use the promo code SOPOD. They make really great equipment, from the Blue Yeti mic, which is one of their most popular microphones that YouTubers use, to their headphones that I use for the podcast that are amazing. The satellites are great. Go bluedesigns.com, use the promo code SOPOD, and you can get 20% off anything in the store. It's a really great deal, and like I said, their products are fantastic. So go check that out. Now, let's go ahead and get into this video, and we're going to start out by looking at the stats on the team. So on Boba, crit damage set, 216% crit damage, which is very important. He's at 221 speed, pretty achievable for most people. He's got offense on the on the plus sign because he's a damage dealer. Same thing with Wampa. He's got 216% crit chance. He was 213 speed. His physical damage, he has 762 additional physical damage, which is really important because of his stacking offense. Now, Grand Admiral Thrawn, he's on my arena team, so I've got him modded to go extremely fast. He's at 278, which is quite fast, but you can definitely do it with a much slower Grand Admiral Thrawn. You'd be perfectly fine. Don't really care about offense on him. He's stacked up with protection so that he can heal everybody up and stay alive. Hermit Yoda, he is at 271 speed. He's pretty fast as well, because you want him to get his buffs out and heal as much as possible. And the last one is Sabine. She does not have a whole lot of extra speed. I could actually put more speed on her, which would be more helpful. She's at 247 with an additional 96 speed. I don't really care about offense because she's not there for the damage. She's there for the armor shred. So let's go ahead and see exactly how this team works. So first thing I'm going to do here with Grand Admiral Thrawn, I'm going to swap turn meter with Wampa so that he can get his protection up, and that way on his first attack he has the bonus damage. Then I'm going to use Sabine, do armor shred. I'm going to do that every single chance I get because that is really important. Now with Grand Admiral Thrawn, I'm going to fracture because I want to keep Scion fractured as often as possible because it's really important to get that minus 50% speed that fracture gives to the raid boss. The next thing that I'm going to kind of focus on is Boba Fett. I want to get his payout. So that's part of his leader ability and part of the recent Bounty Hunter rework. So I'm going to focus on the whichever one of these side characters that went first. I'm going to kind of attack them, make it really easy for Boba to take him out early because sometimes that don't happen. What just happened, taking him out with an execute, usually takes a couple turns to get that down, so I was pretty fortunate here. I like to kind of keep the sides around just a little bit. That way Boba can replenish if he gets killed or something along those lines. Again, armor shred. I should mention, Wampa does not have a Zeta. Boba Fett, Grand Admiral Thrawn, and Hermit Yoda have all of their Zetas, but no other Zetas on the team are required. And Hermit Yoda, his heal is probably required, but his other one maybe not so much, although it is incredibly beneficial, as you'll see. So first, I put Grandmaster Training on Wampa. Then I put it on Boba Fett, because Boba Fett can die, revive, and reset the cooldowns on Hermit Yoda, which is really important. Here I'm going to cleanse Sabine, because I don't want to attack and just give Scion turn mirror for no reason, or give him a chance to counter Sabine. I only want Sabine to hit Scion with her armor shred. That's the only ability that I want landing. So this works out nice because Scion was low on turn meter, get fracture, maximizing fracture, which is always good. Now you notice how much my Boba's hitting for. That's because of the payout and because of Grandmaster's training. He's hitting for 37,000 on basic, with the maximum debuffs, maximum was the cycle of suffering. So I think this is the third armor shred that I have landed on Scion. And, you know, I'm a little over 1% in so far. I think I get a little bit over 9%, a little over 9.5, I believe. Not quite 10, but it's really important to make sure that your Wampa keeps protection up, because that protection up gives him 40% offense, which is really, really important. And I love it once I get Grandmaster's training on Wampa, Boba, and Grand Admiral Thrawn. It's just keep spamming, you know, attacks whenever that gets reset, which is really useful. Now, right here, I swapped turn meter with Wampa because, one, Wampa could recover the protection, which helps him keep protection up, and he was low on turn meter, so it just makes him go that more often, which lets him stack up his offense that many more times. Fourth armor shred right there. So that is 4 armor shreds now, which is obviously really important and useful. There we go. Wampa hitting for 115,000 on his basic. The other good thing about Thrawn is he gets rid of that offense up, which makes Scion a little bit less deadly. So right there, I was trying to kill off one of the sides to let Boba replenish his protection. He didn't. Not that big of a deal. Not something I'm really going to worry about all that much. Wampa always attack Scion. 116,000. There we go. All right, so he killed Boba. And I was fortunate he didn't attack Boba again, although I think Boba probably would have survived. But that reset Hermit Yoda's cooldowns. So now he can spam the 3 of them, all attack again. Now I'm in a pretty good spot with Boba that I can try and replenish his protection and give him back his Bounty Hunter's Resolve. Didn't quite land at that time, but that's okay. I'll get one of the sides pretty low. That way Boba can do it on his next turn. Here we go. 5th armor shred. Yeah, and those sides just don't stand a chance against Wampa. So he had protection up, so I don't use the second special. There's no need to ever use that second special if your Wampa already has protection up. So I got 5 armor shreds out of Sabine, and she's gone. 6 turns left. I'm not quite 5% in, so actually barely over 4% in. So this is where you're going to start seeing a whole lot of damage. Now it's basically just swap and turn meter with Wampa, get Wampa going as often as possible, stack up as much offense as possible. And I love Boba's basic because it actually has a pretty decent chance at making Scion counter and take him out, which is good. If Scion can counter and kill Boba, it is absolutely amazing because then you get the cooldown resets on Hermit Yoda and you get the spam attack, which is great. That's what you want. And here we go. Get to spam everybody in. Wampa does 148,000. Boba double taps. The second one was 48,000. Pretty good damage. I had a text message issue there that I had to delete out. So right there, again, Boba gets killed, reset the cooldowns, and spam the attacks. That is a really great Zeta for this team. It becomes very useful. All right, so my Wampa lost his protection up. Not good. You know, you want to keep protection on him as much as possible. So we'll see how this plays out here, and hopefully we get some counters out of Wampa. There we go. Very nice. Now, I use his AoE to give him the protection up because, like I said, that's 40% offense, and its extra protection just makes him that much more survivable. Scion's going to bring everybody back, give me more people to kill, which is always fun. 43,000 on the counter. Give my boy Wampa a little bit of protection because he obviously needs it. And here we go. We're going to try to kill one of the sides. That was probably not a good choice. What I should have done was execute on Scion. That way, that would have been a pretty big, damage because you're clearing the debuff and it does pretty good damage anyway. But this turned out okay the way it worked out. Got to fracture him, and then I get to call everybody in. And 85,000 took him out. So now Boba's back to being able to revive, which is awesome. That's definitely what you want. Now it started at 97% and I'm down to 88%, and right there I just lost Grand Admiral Thrawn, which was really unfortunate. Now I hit this point and you see it skipped forward because I had to sit there and let the game rest for a while until our raid damage post time arrived. Now it's basically it's trying to get as much damage as I can out of him before enrage, and you know, he goes crazy and starts killing people. I was really fortunate, so Boba came back, so look at that, an extra 70,000 damage almost just after that. So ended up getting 4.945. I haven't quite hit that 5 million mark. It's a little frustrating. Hopefully soon. This team has become really consistent. I can almost always get over 8%. It works really well. It's a lot of fun. Now, I hope this was really useful for people, you know, helping you get your damage up. Now, if you don't know who I am, go check out the Shattered Order podcast. That's what we do primarily as a podcast. You can find us on twitch.tv/Shattered Order. Every week, we do a 2.5-hour show. We got Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes trivia at the end. It's a lot of fun. I hope you will check it out and join our Discord, discord.me/Shattered Order. And you can also check us out on Patreon, patreon.com/Shattered Order if you're interested in that. And then we have a lot of really cool stuff on our website, which is shatteredorder.com. Hope you'll check that out, and hope you guys enjoyed the video. Later.